Oh my gosh. I took as much time as I could with this open beta as they were testing the server. Only 10% of the game was opened up for the weekend, and I couldn't do it in peace because of motherfucking robots taking my fucking life. And I kind of liked it. Hey, I'm the Dad Panther, writer, streamer, content creator, master of none, and here's my review for Arc Raiders. Not really necessarily a review, it's more or less I'll answer the question at the end: would I buy this or would I pre-order this? Now, I'm a casual player, so during the open test, I was happy to spend over 5 hours playing this game, knowing again it wasn't much, it was just scratching the surface. There was a lot of potential in this game, but there's also enough to know that potential does not always equal longevity. I'm looking at you, Destiny 2. Now, at the time of testing this game, Arc Raiders was one of the top played games online. It held its ground against Battlefield 6 and some other impressive games. It showed us again just a little bit, but with that little bit, it could also show what it can do. Meanwhile, games like Escape from Tarkov, getting ready for a new launch for their actual official coming out later on this year, The Division, and then the Destiny series, they're fighting just to stay relevant. Arc Raiders enters the mix with confidence. It's a sci-fi action shooter that balances tension, exploration, and survival in a world that looks stunning and sounds even better. Now, let's talk about the big question: would I pre-order it? Technically, yes, but personally, no. I'm old school. See, I want more than a few skins, a digital soundtrack. I want like a jacket, like a collectible, an action figure, something intangible that says, hey, you were there when it started, kind of like my Division gear. Early access means really nothing if you're a casual gamer. The hardcore community will sprint through the content in 3 days anyway by the time they catch up. With that said, I will buy this game for the $40. It's offering a full experience that other studios charge double for, and then they sunset within a year. That alone earns my respect. Now, here's what stood out during my time in this. Every gun feels unique. Now, let's talk about the big question. Would I pre-order it? Would I buy it? I'll answer that later. Hit the subscribe button, like, follow for more. Now, here's what stood out to me in the first 5 hours. Every gun feels unique, rough, handmade, something, I don't know, savaged or put together off of the battlefield of a time before. The gunplay feels grounded with deliberate pacing that rewards awareness more than speed. The menu UI, it's clean, it's easy to read. It's a rare balance between simplicity and depth. The environment's gorgeous, with weather effects that actually matter. I love how a lightning storm can change how you move through familiar ground, not just visually, but strategy. I mean, you start to expect and respect the world as much as its enemies that live in it. Character customization feels limited, but the presentation overall is strong. The sound design in particular might be one of the best features of the game. You could turn the music off and purely just listen to the ambience of the sound. You can hear that there's birds chirping, letting you know it's daytime versus hearing the owls at night. You can hear when danger is near, footsteps, mechanical sounds, and the hum of drones above you. It all builds on this atmosphere. There's something special in the lore here, even if we barely scratch the surface. I mean, the ones who weren't there for some of the earlier testing. I get a sense that this world is a world where humanity has caused its own downfall, and the machines, the raiders, us, we're cleaning up after ourselves, really, and handing it to someone else that we can't see that's living a far, far better life. It's not confirmed necessarily, but to me, it just feels right. That's what the subtext gives to me. That quiet weight. Gameplay wise, it's interesting that there's no additional roles like tank, DPS, and healer, yet there are elements that show that this is a part of the game. I love the fact that you can build up in your spec tree or skill tree so that you could revive not just your teammates, but anybody that you see. And you know me, I like to support and heal, so I enjoy that kind of freedom. As a casual player, I appreciate that the PvP aspect doesn't dominate the experience. I like that it leads the experience. Take note, Division series. You can fight each other, but you don't have to. That's the choice. To play defensively, to survive. That makes the game accessible to more than just the ultra competitive crowd. It also fits into what I believe the narrative of the story is. We're all in this together, but still, there are things that didn't land for me. First, the time to kill feels a little long, not in a bad way, but it felt like sometimes it would drag out the fights beyond the tension into a little frustration. Secondly, some of the robots felt a little too spongy. Yeah, you can empty a full clip into weak points, but only to watch them regenerate or reveal a super hidden surprise that feels a little unfair. And from what I've heard, they tuned up the robots on this go. They weren't as powerful in the previous beta testing. But it reminds me of Helldivers in the pacing, but without the comedic chaos that those moments had made fun. And finally, the long-term question, will this game last? We've seen incredible titles like Anthem, Outriders, X-Defiant start strong and then fade. Even with a really, really good team and history behind it, it's not always about quality. Sometimes it's just timing, competition, and how much the developers can sustain, whether the players' trust or an executive's decision. Final thought. Where do I stand? I said I was going to answer the question on pre-ordering or buying. Technically, yes, but personally, I'm old school. I want more than just a few skins or digital soundtrack. I want the jacket, the collectible, something intangible, where I can be like, look, I got this at early access. Because right now, early access is 3 days that maybe you can play with some games, and tryhards or sweaty players are just going to catch up to you in about a day anyway, and they don't have to pay extra for it or do it in advance. Would I buy this game? I'm closer to the edge of yes. Honestly, Arc Raiders feels like it's the underdog with a real shot. It's smartly designed. The devs took a time to look at this, step back, and present it a different way. And it gives players agency, even if they're just scavenging solo. For me, the appeal isn't about dominating the scoreboard. It's about surviving. It's about exploration. It's about learning how this world, in pieces by pieces, put it together. Literally. I'll definitely be buying it now that I'm thinking about it, not just to support the studio, but it also feels like one of those few games this year that is generally worth buying or even trying. If you want more honest reviews for someone balancing real life and game life, hit the subscribe button and drop a comment and let me know. Are you picking up Arc Raiders? If you are, why are you picking it up? What's grabbing your attention? Until next time, Daddy loves you.